20 years, isn't that amazing? What have been your challenges? Must be plenty of challenges, and what are you looking forward to in the future?
Lots of challenges, from personal to interrelationships between people, to very down to earth things like financial and programming, so many things. I must say we have seen it all. We have seen it all as a social movement. And of course it is interesting. It's been very challenging, and it is something that you need to have a passion in order to commitment in order to continue. Otherwise, you can't last. Like I said, sustainability is the key as a social movement. I suppose even when we started in 1993, we already realized that funding is not external funding is not reliable. Yeah. And we have been preparing for this kind of days for a long time anyway. And we have been actually self-sufficient for the past years or so, for many years, because we were trying to raise our own income through productions, through conducting trainings, consultancies. But of course, it's not enough to pay our overhead because we are not a business. So I suppose these are the kind of issues that all social movements must and should think about, how to continue and sustain themselves. The best part is you're able to sustain yourself even though you downsize, even though you have to do things that you normally don't do, because NGOs are usually money users, they are not money makers. We are not business. So it's a very good challenging thing for NGOs to start thinking about how to sustain themselves, either through doing income generating projects or to get especially people to support, in cash or in kind, and services.
So I guess can't live on grass at all. I mean, the ground market has been shrinking for quite a while.
Yes. Especially for Malaysia, the ground market has been shrinking, and funders, they have their own priorities. Every year is a different kind of emphasis, and if they change the emphasis, and there goes your financial dependency on them. So we have to be very careful. We have to know how to manage ourselves, and if you have little resources, you have to do as much as you can, get into that kind of habit, because if you use a lot of money and keep using when you have the money, then you do not know how to live on small budgets and to get funds for yourself when you want to run projects. That is the key.
So are you looking forward for the coming years?
Yeah, I think social movements like these actually are very much needed in our society. We are, some people call it the watchdogs, some people call it the countervailing force, some people call it the voice of the people, whatever you call it, but I think we need to be a strong force of the people other than the political parties or the political movement, because civil society movements is a different looks at the society from a different perspective. We can work together, we can collaborate, but still you need to have that kind of independent, I wouldn't say neutral, there's no neutrality, independent voice that can actually represent the people.
Do you have a particular focus immediately?
For Malaysia now, especially in this kind of political spectrum and political scenario and landscape, I think the key now is good governance, democratic space and processes. I think this is something that we really need to focus on, because sad to say in Malaysia, we are such a developed nation and very IT savvy and all that, but still a lot of people still do not know how a government works, for example, or how to assess certain things, or how to gain access to participate in decision making that affects their own society and their own life.